Oh my gosh, my elite Order of the Green Lady list is facing off against a unit spam list. 28 drops with 40 unit strength. Order of the Brothermark. How would I fare? Stay tuned to find out.
Hello there! I like to watch battle reports to get better at games. So I started making short, summarized battle reports that focus on learning points. So welcome to my channel, Newbie Dice. Do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy my videos.
Alright, so this is my list. It's the same from the last round. I'm trying 2 unicorns, one of them with the Scorched Earth and Amulet of the Fireheart for some lightning bolt action as well. It should be lightning bolt, not heal. And yeah, I have a bit more shooting in Naiad Heart Piercers, and then I have Brotherhood, Earth Elementals, Forsaken, Beast of Nature, Pegasus, Druid, and Avatar of the Green Lady. So I'm very thankful that I have some healing over here. So let's look at my opponent's list. So he has 20 regiments of Villian Penitents, so that is 40 unit strength, and the rest are in characters. So firstly is an Exemplar Paladin for lead from the front with that rallying 1, and then 3 Exemplar Chaplains, and these guys are really very good because they are your cheap 3 attack heroes. But guess what? He has Elite, which makes him much more reliable in dealing that 1 wound to disorder units, and as well as being able to get Fury for just 5 points. It affects villains, but hey, any auras affect themselves, so he's essentially getting Fury for himself as well, which is amazing. And with Iron Resolve Aura to heal off on any chip damage, and of course rallying 1 to villains. So with that, he has 4 rallying sources. Next up is your Exemplar Hunter with kitted out to deal some damage. Blade of the Beast Layer action. Another inspiring source in Barrel of the Holy Icon. And lastly, yeah, so he has Exemplar Hunter, Barrel of the Holy Icon, and the Exemplar Paladin for 3 sources of inspiring. And lastly, a Wizard with Lightning Bolt and Alchemist's Curse. So that one is pretty scary, right? So notice that apart from some of the combat characters, he doesn't have punchy units. Villain Penitence as a regiment is not very reliable in dealing lots of damage. So the only thing that is quite reliable in dealing damage is actually Alchemist's Curse. But hey, you can still die from a death of 1,000 cuts, right? So if I don't have any healing source, all the wounds, no matter like how many units it takes, maybe 1 unit deals 1 or 2 wounds, but eventually your units will fall, right? Because he does outnumber my drops by more than double, right? So he can lose half his units and he'll still be okay. And so how would I fare against this list? We'll find out, but first I think we have a little shout out to my local gaming store. If you're from the Asia Pacific region, do consider checking out Hammer House website for your hobby needs. They carry a wide range of miniatures and hobby supplies, including Mantic, Vallejo, Scale 75, and Green Stuff World products. Okay, so the scenario is dominate, so unit strength, right? So that is quite bad for me. But thankfully, I won the roll to choose sides, and immediately I took the top. Why do I choose the top? Because the bottom has this rock. So this essentially split his force into 2. And worse still, he could have packed like 3 more regiments down here and just moved straight up into the circle if not for this little blockage over here. So he laid it up in 3 layers, and some of these units are very far from the center circle, so he would have trouble shuffling in. And thankfully there's a forest in the middle. If my Earth Elemental goes in, I don't think it dies easily at all, right? So there's 2 strategies I considered. The first one, which is to pack all my elite units into the circle and just try to fend them off. I thought that may work, but if I do that, I'm essentially just repelling a tide of bodies, right? And it will not take advantage of the speed that my list has. So I still decided to do this, my usual tactic of spreading out, having 2 strong sides, and that also I guess that might have influenced him to force himself to spread his army out as well, to be able to protect his flanks, although it's all just most of them just bodies, right? So I guess this is the lead from the front paladin. These are the 3 chaplains. This is the beast slayer guy, exemplar hunter, and this is the wizard with alchemist's curse. So take note, I know from the start that alchemist's curse will be his most reliable way of dealing damage. And so on top of that, my healing, although it starts out in the center here with Green Lady, I end up deciding to swing to. I'm deciding to win on the left side, because the right side he will get pretty hampered with this forest over here. His guys all move 5, no nimble, no pathfinder, so you would have a lot of trouble to reach the center. That is what I'm thinking. So this piece of rock here is really helpful for me. So let's see what happens next. He won the initiative. He shuffles everything up. Nothing special over there. And the cool thing is, usually I don't charge bottom of 1, but I think I need all the rounds of combat I can get, so that I did charge bottom of 1. So whenever you do a pincer maneuver, which is what I like to call it, that means you come in from 2 sides, right? Like this and like this. Okay, you always hit from the outer unit first, which is this 2. Okay, why? If I hit the center unit, right, then now I will be flanked by my enemies. Okay, no matter how, I'll at least be flanked by 1 enemy if I don't hit the outermost unit. So that's where my Forsaken hits the outermost unit, so I can just face inwards like this. Okay, and on top of that, I have my Beast of Nature as well. So I did the same strategy on both sides. So I'm gonna charge like this, and I'm gonna charge the Beast of Nature in. So in case I don't route this unit, the Beast of Nature will be protecting myself from being flanked. Okay, and if I'm yep, so even if when my Beast of Nature goes in, although this is an approximate drawing, but I'm pretty sure, right, this unit don't have line of sight against the beast. Okay, so same thing, I'm gonna charge my Forsaken here, Beast here, and I think this has no line of sight. So that's exactly what I did, right? So punched in, and I got some lucky waiver rolls on the penitents, on both penitents, which is great. So traffic jam, so it couldn't charge the other units in. Oh wait, he has fury, so scratch that. Okay. So he has fury, so scratch that. So yeah, this unicorn over here tried to snipe out his characters, so lightning bolting from the hilltop. Okay, and yes, you can see my avatar, the Green Lady, swung towards the left side. Yeah, so I decided, if you look at this, the terrain is, this is a smaller window, right? So if I can prevent him from coming in here, and then all this terrain, he will be having a hard time swinging this side in. So I decided to assist the healing on the left side of the screen. So let's see what happens next. So let's see, I think, yeah, not enough space to slide if you look at this. So this unit, if it slides, it will bump into the Order of the Forsaken. So I'm assuming, right, there would be no space for this unit to come in. Okay, but he does have these characters, with this one being more combat focused, while this one still can do a bit of a punch. So instead, yep, I guess also he wanted to charge this Beast Slayer guy in, ground the Forsaken. Okay, so then he'll be free to expose flanks, even though even if this Forsaken wasn't grounded, I don't think I can fit it anywhere in this. The Forsaken are 150 by 100 in base size, so it's quite big. Okay, so combined with the Chaplain, he's trying to do some damage to the Beast of Nature. Okay, over in the center, wow, the the unit charged in already. Look at that. I think I didn't mind the charge. As you can see, it's hindered. It dealt no damage. Because if he charges in, then I could start grinding out his units, right? Because I need every single combat I can get to keep taking out penitents, right? So I opened with killing 2 units so far. I still have 18 to go. Over on the right side, over here, not sure why I allowed that, but my piercers got got charged into, and so no more shooting. But oh, he didn't do damage, so that's fine. Over here, let's rewind. So perhaps this could see, I'm not sure. That's why I charged the unicorn in. So anyway, they just punched back without much results, I guess. So at this point, unicorn wizard, I did not know what he cast, because if you charge in, you can't do Alchemist Curse. Maybe he didn't cast anything. Everything over here is in combat. Alright, let's see the bottom of 2. Okay, so once again, my Forsaken Knights will just one round the penitents. So let me, I kind of forgot the stats. Let me just check the stats a little bit. 11, 14 at defense 3. Yeah, so I will do 10 wounds on average. So that's a good chance to rout every unit I charge at. Okay, so the unit on the left deleted the Exemplar Hunter, while the unit on the right deleted another unit, right? And then this Piece of Nature, I guess, over 2 charges killed off this one. Okay, and what else? Let's see. The unit in front of the Earth Elementals got deleted, so I killed another 3. So 15 left on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes. Okay, so as you can see here, I healed off. My Green Lady is here to save the day. I healed quite a bit off the Forsaken Knights, 5 wounds off. That is 1 from Radiance, and I rolled 4 on a heal of 6, so that's slightly above average. And then the Radiance took off 1 wound from the Beast. So yep, things are looking good. So you can see that I'm just shoving things into place to prevent things from being flanked at, because I know a regiment will not be able to kill these villains, but as long as it doesn't get flanked, it should very well survive. Okay, the piercers, I think because it didn't get wounded, it bounced back, take shots at the guy in front of him, but still didn't stick any wounds. Or maybe I did and Iron Resolve, so I think it was a bad idea to try to shoot at him, because it's an individual. You are hitting on 5s, you're wounding on 4s. If you only have 1 or 2 wounds, it's not gonna be enough, because he's gonna Iron Resolve, and then that's a bad trade. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh yeah, look at this. My cavalry charged in. I was hoping to rout this unit, because if I don't, it's gonna cop a flank here. But why do I wanna charge in this unit? Because if I do, right, my knights will be here holding all his units here out of the zone, out of the circle zone. Okay, and then there's this wall here. Whatever he charges at me, they're all gonna be hindered, hitting on 6s. So that will help my knights kind of survive quite a while if I manage to rout it. If I didn't, he would double charge me anyway. So that wasn't worth it. I think if I backed up 4 inches, this unit could still charge me, and that would be bad. If I backed up 4 inches, he charged me, and then the rest of the units can slowly shuffle into the zone, right? So that's why I wanted to charge and block them out. On hindsight, maybe the knights could have stayed back a little bit more, so that it would not be threatened by these units charging even if I backed up. So I needed a slightly above average roll, and I didn't get it, so things got stuck there. Perhaps I just need average, right? I have 11.5 hits, probably 9 wounds. I just needed to roll 5 twice, or 6 with the rally one over here. Okay, so yep, didn't get it. So I missed one screenshot, but let's see what happens after that. Okay, let's talk about these knights again. So it copped one flank, so and a front charge, so that's why it is now on 8 wounds, but I've killed off the unit that I failed to kill off the first time. Wow, things are a little bit messy. Let's go to the right side first. Okay, so continuing the same operation where, you know, I charge one, I block the other. Okay, not sure how my Beast of Nature got there. Yeah, Beast of Nature probably rear charge one of these units over here. Yep, that's probably what happened. The one that flanked the knights helped to contribute to these 8 wounds. It got rear charged by the beast. So at any point of time, if I can get flanks and rears, I want to get it, because the beast usually won't kill penitents in one round, but the flank and rear charge would probably do it. So every time I can multiply my attacks like that, I want to. I really need the number of attacks to kill off this spam list. Okay, so next, what else am I looking at? Um, what do you call this? The unicorn got a charge onto the paladin. I think it's a bad decision anyway, because all these guys, all these knightly characters, they all have iron resolved, so unless I'm hitting with a lot of attacks, it's just gonna keep falling off, so not a great deal there. Okay, so this chaplain that was charging at the piercers, I think gave up on the piercers and went for the Pegasus instead, because if you rolled well, rolled luckily, you could just easily waver the Pegasus, but it did that one wound, so at least it grounded it, right? So let's see the grind continuing. Pegasus is dead. Okay, I think charge from this penitence from the front and a second charge from the chaplain killed it. And yeah, so he's still chipping off at these units over here, while a front and a flank from the Beast of Nature. Yeah, I'm not sure if I made a mistake over here to have copped the flank. Well, guess I never know. So maybe I made a mistake, I copped the flank. But Beast of Nature still holding on as long as I'm at this kind of wound range. I have Radiance of Life and heal that would easily be able to recover a lot of these wounds. Okay, over here on the right side, you can see that I'm starting to take a lot of wounds. So over a few rounds of Penitence charge, I took some wounds, and then now with an Alchemist Curse, managed to waver my Forsaken. So I know this side is gonna go down eventually. My Knights, Brotherhood Knights, has went down because he already was on 8 wounds. And so yeah, one unit has breached into the circle, while this Beast of Nature is still holding some of these units at bay. Because of the proximity of this unit, you can see that it's kind of stuck behind the unit in front. Yeah, so lots of traffic jams over here. This is where I make one very big mistake. So I got double charged. These Earth Elementals got double charged, right? And I decided to counter charge the one on the right side. I thought that, okay, you know, on the left side, I kind of have all these threads over here that can probably reach this unit marked with the X. So I'll decide to counter charge the one with the square instead. Okay, but what caused the problem is this: when I charge the Earth Elemental slid to this side, while my Unicorn was staying somewhere here, it was trying to deal with some of the characters, and this is just out of 6 inches, so it's not inspired. And furthermore, I didn't kill, right? This is gonna cop a flank from here, from this first unit that charged it, right? And well, granted, it's gonna be hindered. Maybe I was also considering this. I'm not sure if it was here Actually, it probably would be hindered as well because there's this little bit of forest over here. So I should have charged this unit for the sake of the inspiring range. Okay, but I didn't. I did not consider that until, you know, after all my moves are done, when I've decided that my unicorn will try to charge at these characters again, then I realized it's out of 6 inches. Healing was a little bit limited. My druid tends to keep itself base to base with the piercers because it doesn't want to get charged by his chaplains and all that. And so I think, I'm not sure it was in range to heal. I think it was because I healed off 1 wound. So still alright there. So once again, missed some screenshots. Things were getting very heated. We were playing on the clock, so sometimes I did miss taking screenshots. Alright. So bottom of 5. Let's see what happened. So this Forsaken was wavered by the Alchemist Curse and then eventually taken out. I think I probably failed my waver roll. Maybe I succeeded and killed off that unit in front, but then a second round of Alchemist Curse took him out. Okay, so I'm down to this Beast of Nature, still holding on, hoping to delay these 2 units. It seems like this unit is going to come into the zone. These 2 units, hope to be able to delay them out because there's this forest, so he can't on the double into the zone, right? Let's see. Guess what? The Earth Elementals got taken with some above average rolls, so, and then a very good nerf roll because no inspiring. So there is the times that, you know, the nerf roll spikes and it got taken out. I remember he dealt enough wounds to need 11 to kill, and he got that roll once, somewhere between 9, 10 or 11, right? But still that would require a lot of wounds from these 2 units. One of them is a counter charge, the other one is hindered in the flank. So still unexpected, but if I had my inspiring, then it would have been far less likely. Okay, and you can see my unicorn. After so many rounds of charging all these individuals, he has finally given up and charged at some penitence. So this was the unit that was initially wounded by the Earth Elemental Horde. So I was hoping to finish it off. Yes, I didn't finish it off again. Nice thing over here is at least one of these units are free to fly next round. That is the Beast of Nature, because all the individual enemies are in the front arc and they can't fit 50 mm into this space here. So the individuals couldn't charge the beast, so the beast will be allowed to fly. And I made sure that these Forsaken Knights are not on the hill so that the beast can see over and charge at this or this unit, either one of these 2, or maybe even all the way over here. Okay, so if we just take a check or a count of the unit strength in the circle right now, I'm at 4. This is worth 2, and this Earth Elemental Regiment is worth 2. Okay, he's at 6, right? But this unit is heavily wounded. I think I think the piercers has been pecking away at it. Okay, so now it's at 8 wounds and wavered, so it's a good chance that it's gonna go down soon. So let's see what happened. Wow, I missed a lot of screenshots because things were really very exciting. So let's see what happened. Eventually, my Forsaken Knights managed to fly in. Okay, let's see. There is 1, 2 chaplains, 1 flag bearer. I don't remember when the paladin died. If I rewind back, let's see if I can see the exact time that the paladin died. Oh, maybe the paladin is over here. So the paladin was never on the left side. Yeah, it would make sense that you have 2 chaplains for 2 rallying sources and 1 chaplain and 1 paladin on the right side. Okay, so he had 2 chaplains over here, bottom of 5. Okay, So he had to stop these flyers. Maybe he wanted to shut down some shooting. So there were too many things to do with too little units to do them, right? I think there was a turn 6 that I killed the one chaplain that tried to ground this. Uh, Beast of Nature probably charged at one of the units over here. And look, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 units that's probably going to be in the zone. 4 regiments. Okay, and I think I killed 3 of them, right? Yeah, I killed 3 of them. So I killed this, and I killed this. So this is already heavily wounded. Okay, Beast of Nature, this is already heavily wounded as well. So Beast of Nature can finish it. If this can be taken out by the Forsaken Horde, that would be great. And I still have Earth Elementals here, right, to help chip in wounds, pierces to do shooting damage. Okay, so looking at this image, obviously there was one unit here that got killed because of the Earth Elemental, one unit that got killed by the Forsaken and they overran in, and one unit here that got killed by the Beast of Nature. Looks like the Unicorn killed one unit here as well. Let's rewind. Um, um, Maybe there's no unit here. Unicorn probably combo charged this unit. This one is probably somewhere here, right? So yeah, this was turn 7. So I remember turn 6, these 2 units were out of the zone. So turn 6, he will have only 2 unit strength, versus my 4, these 2 units were definitely in the zone. Okay, and turn 7, he tried to move in after killing that Beast of Nature, but only one of them were able to get in because couldn't march, right? This unit at the back probably started something like this after flanking the beast. So all in all, he had 4 unit strength left. Out of 20, I managed to kill 17 of the regiments. I'm not sure if his characters were all still around. At least one of the chaplain is dead. The hunter is dead. And the remaining characters are still around. So managed to take out 17 regiments and 2 characters. Alright. My unit strength will be 2, 4, 7, 8. 8 unit strength against 4. Okay. So let's look at some takeaways. Alright. So that was my first mistake where my... I don't know why my slides stopped here. When I countercharge my Earth Elementals, it's slid out of position, slid out of inspiring range. Okay, the order is messed up, that's why. Alright. So, you need a scalpel, slowly and surely pick off at the units and manage to grind them out. Use the positioning terrain to your advantage so that you can limit how many units are coming into the zone and in at your units. If the Green Knights manage to take off that unit on a single charge, that would have been glorious. I would have been able to hold them off much longer because I wouldn't get flanked. Okay. So yeah. So like what I did, I charged my Forsaken in, and then I use the Forsaken always charges the outermost unit, and then the Beast charges the unit next to it. So my Forsaken doesn't get flanked if the Forsaken doesn't kill. The Beast of Nature is a much smaller footprint. That's why the unit next to it couldn't see the Beast and charge the flank. Okay, and in the off chance that it could, I would be able to charge a Unicorn in, and then hopefully the unit after that would not be able to charge at the Unicorn. And anyway, Unicorn doesn't call flank charges, so it would still be able to tank some of those so-called flank charge. So watch out for traffic jamming your own units. So if your units are too tight together, so sometimes the units behind can't do anything if the units in front didn't die, right? So for example, my Unicorn charges a regiment of villains. Okay, so if this unit is something like this, right? Even if the first unit slide to the side, right, being in the middle of the unicorn, this unit would still be stuck here, couldn't move. Okay, but if you checkerboard it perfectly, so something like this, right, this would work because this unit will slide to here, and then this unit would be able to charge in. So perhaps a looser formation might do well, but you know, there is a balance of being looser in your formation and tighter in your formation, because you also want to prevent the beast of nature from being able to fly in between spaces. Once it gets behind your lines, you will pretty much wreck things, because every flank or rear charge is gonna pop a unit of what do you call this, villains. All right. So yep, holding the zone, using terrain to block against flank charges or just block him from coming in. I was very thankful that I won the roll for sides, because that piece of rock in the middle, dividing his forces on two sides of the circle, really hindered him. But not just in splitting his forces, but also the amount of real estate space he could put units closer to the zone is greatly diminished. If without the rocks there, he could put another 3 regiments in the line, 3 regiments in a line up to enter the zone, something like this. Okay, but because there's a piece of rock here, so no, his units can't be deployed there. Yeah, so long grinds, healing does work well. So on the right side, I have no healing, so it just take chip damage from the penitents, you know, 1 to 2 wounds each, and then when it reaches that threshold of like 4 or 5, right? I think it reached a threshold of 4 to 5, yeah. So then Alchemist Curse would do another 3, and that would put him in what do you call this, waiver range, and then the second round will put him into routing range. Okay, so I do believe if you want to play spam, you need to have something to some killing power, especially in the second wave. So some stronger units in the second wave, so that you know, once I commit my forces, your second wave would deal significant damage to me in return. That would greatly help in this grind game. Because he's only dealing very little chip damage, especially on the left side with Avatar of the Green Lady, healing one of the Beast or the Forsaken, and then healing the other guy. So actually the Radiance would affect both the Beast and the Forsaken, and then healing the more heavily wounded one, and then just keep repeating this process. Did wonders. And of course, if his character had the chance, maybe he could charge the Avatar, and once you wound her, she'll get disordered and she can't heal. Radiance will still be on, and she loses flying, so maybe sometimes also harder to get into places, prime places. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this analysis, and if you enjoyed the way I do my battle reports, do like and subscribe. I still have 3 more rounds of my Call to Arms games to go, so keep a lookout for the next one.